And now I'd like to invite our second keynote speaker of the day, Mr. Ashish Gupta, Head of Sales, Volkswagen India. Mr. Gupta heads sales for Volkswagen Passenger Cars India. With a rich experience of over 20 years in the automobile industry in the fields of projects, training, network, after sales and sales, Mr. Gupta is a qualified engineer with a master's in marketing management and leadership license from ISB Hyderabad. He has also been certified from Volkswagen AG under the Global Leadership Program. An exemplary leader, Mr. Gupta worked with Toyota for over a decade in the past under different portfolios in Japan and India. Mr. Gupta will speak on Volkswagen India and shared mobility. Please welcome him with a round of applause. Louder, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Welcome, sir.
Good morning, and thank you for that introduction. Let me say at the outset that it's really an experience for me to be part of this gathering, especially because it involves a lot of operators, aggregators, technology partners. So for us as VW and me to be representing here, it is an opportunity to actually see this gathering from a manufacturer's point of view. What I've observed since morning in the discussions is that we are talking about service providers, we are talking about technology integration, but I think it is also important to see this industry from a manufacturer's point of view, and that is what I would like to share with you today. And of course, we all know the state of the automobile industry, and I'm a sales guy, so I will make a sales pitch as well, so please excuse that, all right? So let me take you through a little bit about shared mobility, but before that, let me take you through the Volkswagen Group. I am a part of the Volkswagen Group, so I will give you an introduction of where we are in terms of globally positioning. So Volkswagen Group, as many of you would be aware, is world's #1 automobile manufacturing group. We encompass auto group with 12 brands. We sell close to 10 million vehicles globally annually. We have world's largest manufacturing facilities. We operate in 150 countries, 122 manufacturing facilities worldwide, more than 300 models operating worldwide, with more than 44,000 vehicles produced every day, and 6.5 lakh employees worldwide. So it's a big organization, and a big organization comes with its pitfalls. So typically, we are slow to react. We are slow to catch on to the market trends that are emerging. Having said that, even though we may be slow, but when we react with full force. Coming to brand VW, which is a part of the Volkswagen Group, we like to think ourselves as the pioneers of mobility. We're talking about shared mobility today, but brand Volkswagen has been a pioneer in mobility. We ushered in the era of mass mobility with the Volkswagen Beetle. We democratized mobility through the VW Golf and the Polo. And now we are moving into the sustainable electromobility of all with the introduction of the ID family of cars. In fact, 3 days ago, I was at the Frankfurt Motor Show, and it was in fact a spectacle to see the kind of fleets that everybody is rolling out on the electromobility front. So as a VW brand, we have a history of 82 years. We operate in 150 countries, and we sell close to 6.2 million vehicles a year, with a clear motto of moving people and driving them forwards. So that's about the Volkswagen Group globally. But in India, we are much smaller. We constitute around 1.2% of the industry here in India. And that is why I like to believe that we are more nimble than our parent organization. In India, we have a clear vision to create a sustainable VW brand with a minimum 3% market share and a mission to deliver the strongest customer connection and loyalty of any automotive brand together as one team. So basically, what in this era of shared mobility, and I would say brands becoming more of a commodity than a preference for the customer itself, it is very important and I would say significant for a brand to stay relevant. Whatever be the development in the automobile industry and the economy, we are still way behind the world in terms of how people see brands. We are still a very brand conscious society. We like to own and possess brands, and that is where we would like to position VW brand as the brand of choice for the evolving segments as well. In India, we have already produced 1 million cars. We have been here for more than 10 years with our group brands, Skoda, Audi. We have produced more than 1 million cars. We export to almost 50 countries from India. As a VW brand, we have a network of 115 showrooms, 113 workshops, 113 used car outlets, 3 parts warehouses and training centers. So we are well equipped to cater to our customer base. In India, we drive the values of being valuable. We were the first one to introduce no, I have this. Yeah, he's already given. Yeah. So we were the first one to introduce dual airbags as standard in all our models. We are known for our build quality of all our vehicles. We have innovative technologies like the TSI, TDI, and DSG, which are industry-leading technologies. And we have a mission to be carbon neutral by 2050 as part of our responsible value. Now that's a little bit of background about what Volkswagen Group is and what Volkswagen brand is and what Volkswagen India brings to the table. Let me now talk about the evolving mobility landscape. Now this is how manufacturers, and typically big manufacturers, saw mobility 3 to 4 years ago. Yeah? So on the x-axis, what you see is the usage of a car starting from minutes to more than 3 years. And on the y-axis, you see the ownership pattern. Maybe 3 to 4 years ago, mostly the market was about call taxis, car rental, and outright purchase as an option to the customer. But for the middle region, there were no options available to the customer. So from a manufacturer's point of view, this is how we viewed the market as 3 to 4 years ago. Now what has changed in the meantime? We see a lot of global mega trends emerging. We see a lot of downstream services emerging, which most of you have talked about. We have new mobility solutions being offered to the customer. We have services like subscription services coming into the market. Digital is taking away a lot of pain of organizing and making these services available to the customers. We have autonomous technologies coming in and evolving into the market. Commercial segment is going into autonomous as well. People are talking about deliveries through drones. So these are some global mega trends which are actually affecting our industry in a big way, and India is not far behind. What we also see in terms of consumer behavior, that the average age of car buyers has dropped by almost 6 years from 2012 to 2017. What we also see is that the so-called Generation Z, 51% of them say that ownership may no longer be an option for them. So you see there are a lot of mega trends or trends happening which are affecting our industry, and parallelly the consumer behavior is changing, which I'm sure all of us are aware of and are making use of. Now what does this lead to? First of all, millennials, car buyers becoming younger and will be more than 50% of working population by 2030. This is a truth which we will have to face. Women buyers emerging as significant segment, increasing in economic freedom, and this brings to the table a new dynamic totally. Growing urbanization with tier 2 and 4 cities to grow faster, changing dwellings and smaller family sizes, changing the buying pattern of the customers. 73% of population will have access to digital by 2020. This is a reality, especially with what we like to call the geo era coming in. And increasing household income with 43 million households having income of more than 10 lakhs per annum by 2025. So these are some of the, I would like to say a summary of what are the trends which are emerging and affecting our industry. Now, from an automobile manufacturer point of view, as I said before, 3 to 4 years ago, this is how on the left side we saw the shared mobility and the operators as. We saw them as emerging, we saw them as unknown, we saw them as startups, and we saw them as competitors. Yeah? Any car which is not sold to a final customer was a lost sale for me. Yeah? We relied totally on the classic model of a sale to a dealer and onwards to a customer. But over the last 3 or 4 years, I would say the thinking and the outlook on the shared mobility space has changed totally. And from emerging, we now view this segment as significant. We see this as an established compared to unknown segment. We see it as an enabled segment, and we see it as a partner. And that is how we would like to position the Volkswagen brand to be a partner in your growth for mutual benefit. So if I now look at the landscape of mobility, you see that it is more of a full landscape with services like subscription and leasing coming to the table. And from an automobile company point of view or a manufacturer point of view, we see it as an enlargement of the market. We see it as an opportunity to grow our volumes by partnering with you. Okay, so having laid the context of why this sector is important for us, let me now make my sales pitch, as I said before, and talk to you about how we have changed as a Volkswagen brand to facilitate shared mobility. So as a Volkswagen brand, through the entire journey, we would like to offer product support, service support, most importantly, finance support, and of course, also marketing support to help your business as well. In terms of products, we have 4 products which are premium accessible cars. As I said, even though mobility is becoming more of a commodity, even in the commoditization of the products, it is becoming very important for the customers to identify with the brand that they are driving. And this is where we would like to position ourselves as premium yet accessible cars. We are globally known to have unmatched build quality, and we have sufficient fuel and powertrain options available in these small cars. In fact, we like to call ourselves the only German brand in mass mobility in India. But for the mobility segment, the specialized things that we are offering right now is customized offer prices based on your fleet sizes, your demand in the market. We have standardized multi-city offers through our dealer network, and we have technical support for features and IoT devices adoption, which I think is becoming more and more of a need in your segment. In terms of services, from this year, we have launched what we call the Forever Care with the industry best 4-year warranty, 4 years industry best, 4 years roadside assistance program, 3 free services, and we have significantly reduced our parts prices to make sure that our cost of ownership are competitive. In terms of special offerings for mobility segment, we have customizable AMC packages, and this is a big technological leap that we have taken by offering these packages even to a single car level. We have facilitated service level agreements through our dealers and special accident repair rates based on discussions and the needs of each of the operators. The big advantage that we as a Volkswagen Group is that we bring to the table also our in-house bank, which is called the Volkswagen Financial Services. They have the full range of financial support programs with comprehensive financing encompassing vehicle, service, and insurance, and also customizable repayment options as per requirements. During the last 1 year, I have an interaction with a lot of mobility providers, both emerging and established partners, and I see this as one of the main areas where they need support. And this is where I think as a Volkswagen Group and as a Volkswagen brand, we are in a better position to address your needs. In terms of marketing, we also offer the full, I would say, power of the Volkswagen Group and our marketing muscle for joint promotions, for customer acquisition, activity support, and for utilization of VW digital channels to help you to reach out to your customers as well as to gather more business for us. So, as I said before, as Volkswagen, we would like to position ourselves as your mobility partner to move people forward. Thank you so much. If there are any questions, I'm more than happy to address them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gupta.